Oh, I never get dressed. I never leave the house. I'm like a caged animal right now. Submit. Foot. So anyway, I just got an interesting question, and I want to just say, my boy Ron. I told Ron about SVXY and UVXY because Ron was a fan of the UVXY trying to time the market correction. And I explained to him, even if the market goes down, UVXY only has a couple of up days in a row because it's a disintegrating product. That's awful. Okay? What you want to be doing is buying SVXY most of the time and hanging on to it, because the only time you're going to lose money on SVXY is some sort of full-blown catastrophe that might be world-ending. So if you're not afraid of the world coming to an end in some sort of apocalyptic nuclear explosion or zombie apocalypse or something that we can't imagine, then you want to own SVXY. And then SVXY was at 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. I was like, listen, Ron, you're up like 100% on your money without a hiccup here. Maybe you should get out. And I just heard from Ron, and he thanks me for being an SVXY. Listen, Ron, I appreciate you saying thanks to me for enlightening you on this thing. But, man, I told you to get out in the 90s. Stock's at 128. So we had a guy come into the room and wanted to know if we're still trading SVXY. I don't know why we forgot about this thing, or XIV, or the UVXY. For me, it almost became a, yeah, there it is kind of trade. And it turns out that back in the day when I was saying, if you just own the Qs, the diamonds, and SVXY, you're probably going to have a really good year. And here we are, December 15th, and it really turned out that the Qs, the diamonds, and the SVXY were amazing. Now, you might have had to sit through a Brexit or whatever it was, but just like the market, if you believed in the market, there's no reason not to believe in SVXY. Okay? Now, I understand that volatility may come back sometime in the year 2021, 2022. I think eventually they're going to just get delist UVXY. Because let me just say, make something perfectly clear on UVXY, people. You're not protecting your portfolio. You're not protecting your wealth. You're sucking the wealth out of your portfolio. If you want to protect your portfolio, either lighten up on your stocks, sell calls, or buy puts. The UVXY is a vehicle to mimic, not the VIX, okay? It mimics something that I don't even fully understand. There's a VIX S&P index, I forgot what they call it, but that's what it tries to do. And when that thing doesn't go up, there's futures contracts, you got the contango, there's mathematics involved. But suffice it to say, if you look at a UVXY chart, now eventually I'm going to find, I got a guy. I'm going to throw charts up in the middle of, maybe I'll do it here. I mean, I could probably get the chart, throw it back to the chart. I don't got time to edit. Okay, that's why I just ramble on, make it a video, bang, bang, moving on, right? UVXY is a disintegrating product. If you can't see the bottom of the chart when you look at a one-year chart on something, that's not a good stock to own long term. What more do you need to see that this is not a real stock? It's a busted product. It's a destroyer of wealth while you're trying to protect it. Don't own UVXY. Now, am I suggesting to buy SVXY at this point? Absolutely not. But don't own UVXY. It's a disintegrating product that only goes down. It's like owning JNUG and some of these gold ETFs, which go up every once in a while, but they don't reflect the price of gold. They don't go up. Have you noticed they don't go up when the price of gold is going up? Because they're not real products. They're leveraged ETF garbage that's not meant to be held. They're meant to be played with intraday, if even that. There's so much better things. So much better. There are so many more better. Proper English is not my thing. There's so much, you know what I'm trying to say. There are better places for your money. Okay? And let me tell you something. Owning stocks still sucks. Because here we have the diamonds. You had your little sell-off yesterday, which was fun. We made some money shorting the diamonds for a couple of ticks there. Okay? But what's up today? My portfolio, not one of them. Alibaba continuing to suck. VRX got slammed yesterday. Twitter, I can't say anything bad about the Twitter. Twitter's still, doing all right for us. That could all change by on Monday. But owning stocks for more than 3 days, you are then in the hands of the matrix. Anything can happen. Some analyst comes out, some scam, some flim-flam, a market correction. Owning stocks is tough. But today we had a couple of solid trades. Adobe came out with earnings. The stock starts to roll over, breaks the 1 minute VWAP. Bick. Made some money on Adobe short. What else was there? AMD finally, held 10, got up to 10.25, 10.26. Not a bad trade. We had a ton of shares. SQ did its SQing bullshit, breaking the half number, going down. Wish I could say I own Roku, but we did call Roku. And I have made now a Jerky Boys collection of me pranking companies. So if you have any company that you want to know about, if you want to know more information, I call the investor hotline. And if I get somebody on the line, I do my due diligence by asking them some curious questions about what the company does. And we have a lot of fun with it. And I probably could get in some trouble because I'm not telling them that I'm recording them. And we did a call. I called ProShares. And the woman got on the phone and she carefully explained to me about what UVXY was. And she was so amazing, so incredibly awesome. But the call went on for like 20, 30 minutes. And I don't want to have you guys sit through that. So I'm trying to edit it down. I don't have the time. Plus, I don't want to get in trouble by putting that out there and probably get a call from ProShares and get that lady in trouble for staying on the phone with me. But I'm going to probably do it anyway. Or come to the website because Friday afternoons, all I do is prank people. And it's a lot of fun. Today we called Riot Blockchain. We called Twitter. We called, what was the other company we called? We called CRCW. Got to know what these guys are doing over there when their stock has gone from 7 to 750. We called Equifax to see if they've had any data breaches lately. And, of course, we called Disney, but nobody picked up the phone. Anyway, so I didn't get through to anybody today, but it's still a lot of fun leaving these crazy messages on their voicemail. And then they do call back, which is a lot of fun. US Steel called me back. AMD called me back. A lot of times I got to get right back into character because I do this character when I call these people. So if they ask for somebody, I got to get right back into that character. It's funny. Yeah. What else was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So that's it. Cut it short. I don't want to ramble on. Good luck. Have a good weekend. I'll see you guys. And I'm going to put the username and a password on the screen because for the next 15 days, come and hang out on me for nothing until the end of the year. Usually there's not much going on until the end of the year. A lot of solidifying positions. You'll get some action, but usually the last 15 days of the year, it's a good schmooze fest to learn a little bit what we do. Prepare yourself for the oncoming new year. And if you guys want to hang out, instead of having to call me and sending emails, I'll put the link right here. Fick-a-boof. And it'll scroll across. Username. You put in an email. You use the link and the password because on January 3rd or 4th, I'm going to switch the password anyway. So come and hang out for the next 15, 16 days. And maybe we'll make some money and maybe you'll wind up sticking around forever. So that's my policy, by the way, if you don't know. Hang out. See what I do. It's not about, drinking and talking about stupid nonsense. We actually trade in the morning, usually for 2 hours, and then it's a bunch of stupid nonsense for a good portion of the day. And then, we look back and, try to find a couple of ideas in the afternoon. And, there is a big chunk of stupidity and nonsense and just a bunch of debauchery and, degeneration. Degenerate stuff going on in there, a lot of sexual harassment going on, a lot of, rape coin talk and, death pools and redneck hillbilly stuff and racism. We love to racism in the room. It's a lot of fun. So come and hang out. And if you're offended by bad language, racism, and sexual harassment, you might not want to show up after 11:30 because usually we trade and we take it serious from 9 to about 11:30, 12 o'clock. Then we pour it on with racism, sexual harassment, and we really, really lay into the Jews. So if you're Jewish and you show up, oh man, you better have a thick skin because damn do we make fun of those Jews. Fucking Jews.